1, 2, 3, 4. Hi, Ezra here at the Writer's Fun Zone with my cat, Mr. Rat-a-tat-a-tat-a-cat. Alright, Matt Posner, author of the School of Ages series, asked, what do you think is the effect on sales of putting the label Jewish on a novel? I felt it was hurting me when I was seeking an agent, as if it limited the perceived market in the agent's mind. Great question, Matt. I'll address that in both traditional publishing and indie publishing. The reason Matt is probably asking me this question is because the title of my book, The Torah Codes, is clearly a Jewish title. My thought process for this title is that a broader audience would have preferred the Bible codes. But in the search engine, if someone looked up the Bible codes, there would be a ton of websites, and my book would be buried underneath all those search results on page 3246. So by changing the title to the Torah Codes, my book would appear on the search engine's first page, and I'd be targeting a more specific niche. That was my thought process for why I made the title so Jewish sounding. That, and it was a better title than the popsicle boing waka waka thriller. Now, in traditional publishing, it doesn't matter too much what the title is because the publisher is the final decision maker about what the title should be. But even though many agents say they don't pay attention to the title in the query letter, it's still good to have an impressive title for those that do. Something like, The Mystery of the Disappearing Lima Bean. Ooh. For you authors out there that want to indie publish, the title is very important, so this video is good for both publishing routes. There are 3 things to address in a title. Is it marketable? Is it clear what the book genre is? And is it clear what the story is about? As you guessed, marketability is probably the most important thing agents look for. Specifically, when people read your book's title, will they want to buy it? Or at least take a closer look at it? Usually the marketing department will look at tons of data to see what words and titles are making the most sales in that particular market. Even if all the mystery buyers are buying mystery novels that have the word belly button in it, they'll think there's something magical about the word belly button, and now you've got a whole bunch of mysteries out there called The Belly Button Hitman, The Mystery of the Victim's Belly Button, The Death of 61 Belly Buttons. You want a more realistic example? I've noticed the word dragon tossed a lot in suspense titles for a while. And also, numbers were a big thing. 61 Hours by Lee Child, 7 Dragons I think was one by Michael Connelly, and so on. Hey, you know that movie Splash? I never dated a fish. Now, of course, the words they choose have to be genre specific. They're not going to use belly buttons unless they think it's the incredible chant that casts a spell on buyers. So in your title, choose words that clearly hint at what the genre is. Mysteries called My Date with Cabbage doesn't work. Historical romances called Death at Fuddruckers also doesn't work. So marketers will put in words that sell and relay the genre. The problem is, the title often has very little to do with the actual story. I love Lee Child's thrillers, but I hate his titles. After reading his book, I can't remember what the book is called, and looking at my bookshelf's titles, I can't remember which title goes with which storyline. So the marketers are clearly interested in getting buyers to pick up the book based off of buzzwords associated with the genre, and not as interested in portraying the actual storyline. I feel like some soup. Want some soup? You, however, need to reflect the storyline, especially if you're addressing the agent. In fact, for an agent, if you could sum up the storyline, including the way it ends, that would be a good thing. Not so good for the market. Buyers don't want to know the ending. The goal in addressing the agent is selling to them in as few words as possible. So if you think the ending is what makes your book unique from all other books, consider making that your title. Something like, The Coronation of a Penniless British Marksman Under Fire. Yeah, that title is way too long and it sucks. But only if the publisher actually keeps it. For you indie publishers out there, stick to using genre-specific buzzwords. A better title would be The Penniless Marksman, or On the Hit List, or Under Fire. Oh wait, that's taken. So, for indie publishers, make sure your title has popular genre-specific words. And for querying an agent, consider revealing the full storyline. And now, a final thought. Where did the word mushrooms come from? I mean, were there rooms where cooks kept their mushed potatoes and after a while a fungus grew so they called them mushroom fungi? Just saying.